What's up, guys? DIY Salvage Guy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today's episode, we'll be getting this car up and running. So we are going to be hitting the fender. We're going to get this all taken off. So if you guys are new here, hope you guys enjoy the channel. Hope you guys consider subscribing down below. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys also throw me some comments. Let me know what you guys think about this build, about this truck. Let me know what you guys think about this channel. So hopefully you guys will continue to support me and keep coming back every day. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pop this fender off. I think it's held on by a couple bolts, maybe 8mm, something like that. So we're just going to hit it with the impact and get all these off. So it turns out we can only get the impact into one, so we'll get the ratchet.
Alright guys, so we got the fender off and you can see just how mangled it was, but it came off pretty easily, so we're good with that. And then, so just taking a look at this over here, we have our horn that's all messed up. So the wire's actually broken here, so we need to find a way to get that back up and running in order to make the horn work again. So we might have to get a new connector for that, but we'll see what we have to do once we assess this a little bit more. Up here you guys can see the header panel that is completely destroyed, so we're gonna have to replace that. Headlight is busted as well. And you can see that the frame is kind of buckled and mangled, so we're gonna have to push that out or pull it out, see what the best method is in order to kind of get this truck back up to its OEM standards. So we're gonna have to kind of account for that. We did not think that that was going to be that big of an issue going into this, but turns out it is, because you guys, well, we have the other side over here, you can't really see, but it's obviously straight. Just take my word for it.
Alright, so right now we're going to try to get the tire off and see if we can get the ABS module swapped out. That'll be the easiest thing for us to do right now. Then we're going to do some test fitting of some panels and see if we can push that part out that is collapsed in slightly. So I'll show you guys real quick. When we start the vehicle up, we get an ABS light on, and it's saying that it is the right front tire, and it's due to the ABS line. You can see right in there that the ABS line is actually cut because this was turned, and this was caught right up in here just like that, and it rubbed and it rolled through, and that could very well be why this vehicle was in an accident. So what we're going to do is, in order to get to that, because it's under the rotor, so we need to take this caliper off. So we're going to take the caliper off, take the rotor off, then we'll swap that out. Hopefully that'll fix the problem, reset the code if we need to, and maybe do the front end suspension as well. So we'll keep going right now. So quick update here, guys. We got the caliper off. See there. We got the rotor off as well. The ABS module is held on by that one little Allen wrench. So we're going to take that off. We're going to swap it out. This steering knuckle is extremely rusted. Just for reference, I guess here, guys, the caliper, the whole thing is held on by these two bolts. We took the whole thing off because we didn't need to take any brakes off or anything. Brakes on this truck are really good. So it's either the ABS module that's making the brakes really squishy, or it's going to be the fact that there's bad brake fluid in there, so we might need to bleed them as well. But we will first swap this out, start her up, and see if we get a good read. Alright, so we swapped it out. The ABS light is still on, so we are going to give it a quick code reset and see if the code stays off, or see what the status is of that. Alright guys, so we just cleared it. We're using a blue driver system, connects right to your phone, and works pretty well. So we got that, and we are going to give it a start. So you guys can see the ABS light where it is. So let's give it a start and see if it comes back on. No ABS light, guys. So that was the fix. That worked for us. So we're going to keep moving on with this vehicle. So we got to put the tire back on. Maybe we'll mess with the suspension right now while the tire is off and try to get that situated. So we'll hop into that. But ABS light is off. There are no dash lights anymore. So we are good in this vehicle as of now. So on to the next thing. I'm going to try to give you guys the best camera angle I can of this. So what I need to do is remove this lower steering rack arm. So that whole thing needs to come out, and the way we're going to do that is we need to take this out. This is the thing that we replaced already. This is bent. So we're going to replace this, and we have the steering damper as well that we have to replace, and the tie rod. So we got to figure out how to get this out of here and how to get that out of there, and we'll continue on. So I'm going to throw this in a time lapse and hop to it.
So you guys might remember from when we were working in the field that I said that the front end suspension was going to have a little bit more of an issue. The things that we replaced in the field were basically just to be able to make it run and drive, and it turns out that the entire steering assembly is busted. I think when the actual forklift put the vehicle onto the trailer or was moving around for the yard, it destroyed the steering damper, and also the tie rod assembly itself from the whole lower needs to be replaced because that thing is busted and worn through, and the ball joints are completely destroyed as well. So we spent a lot of time trying to get this in originally over in the field, and now we are in the process of removing it all. Basically 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but this is the things you need to do when you're working in the field and trying to just get this off. So a little bit of heat, pickle fork, but the issue is that the thing keeps spinning, so now we're gonna have to cut it.
Alright, so we're gonna do one last ditch effort to try to cut it off because all other methods have failed. Hopefully we can cut this one off and be done with. When in doubt, cut it out. Because that shit sucked. Alright, so we're loose. And a couple more things we gotta do. Alright, so it's getting really late. I'd like to finish this, so I'm going to keep trying. Right now what I got to do is get the new tie rod on the new piece here. And in order to do that, I need to match up the amount of threads that are on here in order to try to make the alignment as good as possible. Chances are we're going to have to get an alignment anyway, because we literally replaced the entire front of the suspension. So, but we're going to try to make it as good as possible. And we're going to do that by lining up the tire. Alright, so everything actually went back together pretty easily. Super happy about that. So the full front end suspension is completely done. We replaced the tie rods, we replaced all the ball joints, they were part of the components and everything. I gotta say, I don't remember exactly what the entire Ford suspension is called, but from the steering gearbox all the way down to everything else that steers the vehicle has been replaced, including the steering damper on the bottom. You guys see the old one right there. And stupidly, I left the key in the ignition with the ignition turned on. So naturally my battery is dead. So I got a jump box on and it went from being a full charge to being dead as well. So this might have to sit for the night, charge that thing up, and then I can probably throw the jump box back on and get it started. But for right now, we're gonna put the tires back on. We're gonna leave the jump box on for a couple more minutes. And when the tires are on, if it still doesn't start, well, we're gonna call it a night here, guys. So throw us back in the time lapse and we're almost done. that's it, guys. That's it for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe down below, comment, like as well. Also make sure you guys are following me on all the socials, and make sure you guys pick up some merch. Hopefully you guys will be inspired by this. We're trying to get this done. You guys can do this as well. Make sure you guys just pick up a wrench, buy a car, do whatever you need to do. Just try to become a DIY salvage guy yourself.